Hello, it's Claire in Ireland, and today I'm making some layered tags with my new Halloween stamp set, Haunted. I'm using some pre-cut shapes that I've made with free SVG files that come with the stamp set, and these are for layered tags. I want the tags all to be stamped perfectly in position, but that's a wee bit tricky to do with cut shapes sometimes because if you're using a stamp platform, there's nowhere really to put the magnets. So I'm going to make a little jig out of a piece of scrap card. It's really just a simple shape that will provide a place for the pre-cut shape to sit each time so that I can stamp a number of tags and get them all perfect. You might be able to get away with putting your pre-cut shape right up in the corner there, but my stamp platform has a wee bit of an overhang there. The cardstock kind of fits slightly in underneath. You see where the measurements are. So that wouldn't work for me on this occasion, which is why I'm using a jig. I'm very pleased with how the jig works. It means you can set your pre-cut shape in the same place every time and get a perfect stamped result. And that's really important sometimes if you've got maybe a window such as I have in this tag. So the sound on this video is a little bit strange. I've speeded up the recording because nobody wants to watch me ink up stamps for half an hour. And you can hear my son running down the stairs. I video all of these videos literally in the cupboard underneath the stairs. So please excuse the sound quality. So now that I have stamped the top layer of the tag, I'm going to ink it up a little bit. I can't really get away from, distress looks. I love a bit of distressed at Halloween, bit of grunge. And now I'm working on the lower level of the tag, and it's the background. It's the bit you'll see behind the window. So I want to make it a wee bit more interesting, and I'm going to go in with a bit of orange, which would be a nice contrast to the purpley tone I'm using up top there. I've used one of the wee diamond stencils from the store, but I feel like it needs just a wee bit more detail. So I'm going to take the large diamond design stamp from the Haunted stamp set. It's got a really sort of cool skeleton type feature in it, and I'm going to stamp over the top of these diamonds to give it a wee bit more interest in the center there. And if I can manage to get the skeleton's face somewhere in the window, that'll be a good job. So stamping the sentiment in behind that wee window could be a little bit tricky. The greetings at Halloween stamp is just a tiny bit longer than the window. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back and use the jig, and I'll pop in the tag. This time I'll turn it upside down so that the wee loop bit doesn't get caught up in the jig. Turn the top layer upside down as well there, and then I can position the stamp where I want it to be. And then I can remove the top layer, get it out of the way, and stamp the sentiment exactly on the back layer where I want it, so that when the tag is lined up, you can read the whole sentiment because the top layer is separated from the back. I'll put it up on foam tape just to give a wee bit of space there. So I will use a piece of red fun foam underneath the surface whenever I'm doing stamping or stenciling or anything really. Because I'm was doing a bit of stenciling and a bit of brushing on ink there, I have a piece of it's some sort of plastic baking sheet. I bought it in Lakeland or somewhere like that, and it's really intended for the oven. You put it in the oven if you're going to keep your roasting dishes clean, that type of thing. But it's super stuff for stenciling on. The ink sort of glides off it. Now mine's really old and stained, but it's really good. It allows you to do a bit of stenciling and use most of the ink. You don't waste a lot of ink getting it soaked into maybe a bit of scratch paper that you might use behind. The baking sheet is really good for stenciling on. I highly recommend that. So that is the tag pretty much completely constructed there. The design of the tag though is quite interesting. You can go in and colour wee bits up and highlight maybe the pumpkins here like I'm doing, or maybe the green vines, or maybe the bat, or there's a skull and there's stars and mini pumpkins in there as well. But it's up to you. You can pick out whatever you want and highlight them or not, depending on your chosen design. Um, I can't seem to get away from orange pumpkins at the minute, but I think they'd look good in other colours as well. So that's a fairly simple thing to make. I think they look pretty good. I would hang that maybe off a gift bag or maybe a nice bottle of wine or something like that. You can make them in any colour you want, obviously. Thanks for popping in. And if you do happen to make one of these, tag me. I'd love to see. All the best. Bye now.